Hi all, how you doing? Hope you're doing great wherever you are in the world. So one of my beginners has asked about these sheets because they don't quite fully understand it, and I should imagine a lot of people don't fully understand it. So my local club is Bury Athenaeum. At the end of the night's bridge or a day's bridge, they usually got a sheet. Sorry, some sheets like this, usually in black and white. Okay, they've usually got them in a folder. So your bridge club will obviously do whatever your bridge club does. Um, but I've created these sheets for my lessons. So I have a lesson, say, on Stayman, and I'll have 16 hands, and then I'll have 16 hands on Stayman. Okay, so people can sort of take them home and have a look at them and go through them and maybe make these hands up and that kind of thing, or just use a pencil and that kind of thing. So they can use them how they want to. But let me just go over what they mean. So this is a hand diagram for board one. And it says here, North deals. Okay. So North deals and nobody is vulnerable. So that's what that means, non-vulnerable. And right. And it gives you the hands. So eight spades, 8-3-2, and such forth. So I think the top bit is fairly obvious what that means. The 12, 10, 15, and 3, these are just the high card points. You can see that North here has 12 high card points. East has 10. So rather than adding it up, you can just simply look at that and it'll show you how many points in each hand. Now, this is the bottom bit which people get confused with. So it says in NS 5N. What that means is north, south, whoever's playing it out, north or south, can make 5 no trumps, 5N, 5 no trumps, okay? It means that north, south can make 4 spades. So what they're saying is that is the highest contract that they can make in that particular suit or no trumps. And they're giving them in um, order of no trumps down to clubs, but also the highest score possible as well. So no trumps first, then spades, then it'll be hearts. But because here, 4 clubs scores higher than a heart contract, so north-south making 4 clubs would be worth 130 points, and north-south making 2 hearts is only worth 110. So they put the NS4 clubs higher than the NS2 hearts. NS3 diamonds means you're going to make 3 diamonds. Okay, so in other words, 9 tricks with diamonds are trumps. And if north or south plays it, they can both make 9 tricks. Okay, and that scores the same as 2 hearts. So they placed hearts above diamonds in this particular instance. So they would go down no trump, spades, hearts, diamonds, clubs if it was all kind of equal. But other than that, it puts the highest scoring result first. All right, so it puts them in highest scoring order down to lowest scoring order. Then at the bottom, it says the par contract plus 460, which equates to north-south being in 3 no trumps plus 2. Okay, so that's like the optimum contract to be in. 3 no trumps with making 2 over tricks. Okay, so that's what that means. Now, I don't quite understand why they use the word par, because in my opinion, par means sort of the level score, the sort of mean score, the average score. Whereas this score is actually like the top score. So I don't quite understand that. Maybe I don't understand the meaning of the word par or something. But if you think about par in golf, you get a par 3, but sometimes you can get a higher score. You can get like 1 under, can't you? You can get a birdie and get at a golf hole which is a par 3. If you get a 2, you'd get a birdie score. Okay, it'd be 1 under. So I don't quite understand that, but that's just the terminology. That's all it means. Par plus 460 is like the best score. Sorry, the obtainable score. Okay, the highest obtainable score that's legitimate. Okay, obviously if East West decide to throw away their aces and not play their aces when you play a king and things like that, you can obviously get a higher score. Or if they misdefend, yeah. So if they misdefend, you can obviously get a higher score, and sometimes that's what happens. Other things can happen where so these scores also deem that you're going to get the best defense all the time. Now, you might not always get the best defense because sometimes the best defense is impossible to find. It's literally impossible to find. You're going to have to you know, under lead from an ace or something like that, or that kind of thing. Okay, to sometimes get a best score. So that's what all these scores mean. So sometimes let's look at some other ones. So for instance, this board 7 one is a bit interesting because what you've got here is that North here can make 3 hearts, but if South is in hearts, they can only make 2 hearts. Okay, so obviously getting a lead from a different side can cost you a trick. All right, so ideally what you want to do, if you're playing in hearts, you want North to play it out. All right. Another thing you'll notice here on board 7 is that you've got some North contracts, but also East-West can actually make a spade contract. So East-West can make 1 spade. All right. And again, the par contract is 3 no trumps. If you look at some others, we got any others? Well, here again, look, West on board. So on board 14, you got West making 3 no trumps. Whereas if East is in no trumps, they can only make 2 no trumps. So again, you want to get West to play it out in 3 no trumps as opposed to East playing it out. And again, we've got a North-South score in here making 1 spade. So sometimes you'll have some East-West and North-South scores. There we go. We've got another one here on board 12. North-South can make 2 diamonds, where East-West can make various contracts. And again, look, quite a big discrepancy on board 13. South can make 3 no trumps. But if North is in no trumps, it can only make 1 no trump. And that's because of this king, basically. The king is protected, you see, on the lead. So on board 13, the king is protected from the lead. Whereas in North, if North's playing out in no trumps, East can play a spade through this king holding. Right then. So that I just wanted to go over the sheets. Another thing that happens, you can get some statistics. So here, the average high card points. So North clearly had a better night than East. And it also gives balanced hands, voids, no voids. Okay. Remember, this is I've made these boards up, so it may be that I'm doing some practice on a certain thing where I've made sure there's no voids and things like that. But on a normal night, you might get more singletons and voids in the distribution. See here, long suits, no long suits above 6. That's quite unusual for a whole 16 board for not having that. So anyway, hopefully that's described how to use these sheets. What you can take them with a little bit of a pinch of salt, because remember, this is like playing the perfect kind of defense and perfect declarer play. If you can see through the backs of the cards on certain occasion, it might be you're never usually going to play an ace to drop a singleton king. If you've got 7 cards out, it's very rare you're going to play an ace to drop a singleton king. Whereas here, they'll put the scoring as if you could drop a singleton king, or they'll put the scoring so that if there's something like Queen X offside, you're going to play ace and king and drop the queen, rather than taking a finesse, which would be a better line, a better way of playing it statistically, mathematically, yeah. So you might play the wrong line to get a better score according to these sheets. Okay, so take these these sheets with a kind of pinch of salt, but I'm just explaining the mathematics and stuff behind it, or the numbers basically behind it at the bottom of these card charts, the hand displays. Okay, so hopefully that's made some sort of sense. They are useful. I quite often prefer these sheets to look at rather than looking at online. Going to the pub afterwards and things like that, using these sheets, I find them pretty useful. Okay, I find it easier actually to look at these kind of things rather than the online stuff.